The Career Path program at Ackland Avenue is a way for you to learn new skills, confirm old skills, be recognized for your growth, and advance in your career. In true Ackland Avenue style, we don't do career paths like other more traditional companies. Because it's different, naturally, there are questions about how it works. We've collected a few questions that have come up frequently, which I'll go over in just a moment. Before I do, I want to encourage you to feel free to ask any other questions that you have by emailing us at Ackland Avenue, training@acklandavenue.com. This will help us get the answers to you, but it'll also help us collect those questions so that we can improve videos like this. So let's take a look at a few of the questions we have. How is my progress in my career path tied to my annual salary increase? The career path levels each have a salary range that serves as a guideline for supervisors to use when deciding if or when a salary change is appropriate. Each year, your salary will be reviewed by your supervisor. There may be several inputs that contribute to the need for a salary increase. Some of those inputs might include professionalism, professional growth, other educational advancement, work ethic, teamwork, etc. Some inputs weigh heavier than others in your supervisor's decision to give a salary increase. Advances or lack of advancement in your career path happen to weigh heavily in that decision. What happens if there is not a complete career pathway for my role currently? If your guild doesn't have yet a pathway for you to follow, your supervisor will use the other inputs that I mentioned that are available to evaluate your potential salary changes. Those other inputs, like I said, include professionalism, teamwork, professional growth, other educational advancement, work ethic, etc. What if I do not have the time to spend working towards earning badges to get to the next level in my career pathway? Very, very good question. So if the company is going to ask you to complete badges, the company also must give you the means by which to do so. We're currently working with tribal leadership to coordinate team-wide training time so that there is more motivation and availability to advance on badges. However, the time the company provides for training during the work week is not the only time that you can spend advancing on badges. The badges in your career path represent your professional growth inside and outside of the company. You should not feel limited to training only during the work week, but also outside of work hours. What would prevent someone from just focusing on their career paths and raising their levels and not putting in the required time for their client projects? Well, let me just tell you, this is not a career path issue. It comes up when we talk about career paths because it's just, you can imagine that somebody might feel the need to advance in their career paths and not do their work. Well, this is an integrity issue on the part of the delinquent team member, and it should be dealt with. Work has to get done, plain and simple. If any team member is not getting work done because of doing something else, it could be career path, it could be Netflix, whatever, then the team needs to correct the issue with that team member, then with the guildmaster, and so on. What about teammates who have been with the company for a long time and they have experience? They already have the skills. Do they need to start from zero in the career paths? Short answer is yes. If you have more experience, then you should blaze through these career paths at top speeds. Remember, the only requirement is that each person pass an evaluation for each badge, not that each person take an online course. There is a difference. If you already have the skills, why take the class, right? On the other hand, what even experienced people are finding as they go through these career paths is they find little cracks and gaps in their knowledge that the career paths are helping to fill and polish. Sometimes you'll go fast on badges. Other times you'll go slower on badges. It takes longer to complete. But if you already have the skills, you're really only 30 minutes away from claiming the badge with that short evaluation. Do that a few times and you'll be done with the easy levels in short order and ready for the meatier stuff. How does this affect new hires where the candidate has more experience? How will their salary be defined? Well, this is an interesting question and a very good one. Candidates are evaluated by guildmasters as part of the vetting process. For instance, developers do a dev challenge and then they do a pairing session. During that process, guildmasters attempt to determine what level the candidate might be at if they were working at full-time and full potential. When it's time to make an offer to the candidate, that imaginary level is what we use as a guideline to determine the salary we will propose. Once the candidate starts, he or she is encouraged to advance in the career paths to further confirm what we already thought about the person's potential. And in some cases, that person might be placed on a more regimented plan. I love this one. Do native English speakers need to do the English evaluation badge at every level? In short, no. Native English speakers, or those that evaluate 5 out of 5 on English evaluations, will get a pass on future English evaluations. And maybe just to make it fair, we should add a Spanish badge for the gringos. We'll see. Do I need to complete the same professional growth badge one time at the end of each level? Yes. The professional growth badges are considered check-in badges, which expire a short time after being awarded. The purpose of these badges is to check your growth against previous baselines and to prompt a conversation about potential growth opportunities. There is no minimum score or growth requirement for these badges unless it's part of some specific improvement plan that's imposed by the guildmaster. The badges expire to force everyone to check in at least once for each level. These badges are placed intentionally at the end of each level so that they can be awarded just before passing on to the next level and avoid them expiring before gaining the level. What's a good speed or rate for earning badges? Well, some badges take longer than others, which could be due to your experience level or skill, or just the amount of skills that it takes to gain that single badge. Evaluations are generally designed to be completed in 30 minutes or less, so that should give you an idea of how many skills you might be expected to master for a badge. Without much data to back this claim, though, it seems like you could reasonably expect to earn a badge or two each month, if the skills to master are fairly new to you. If the skills on the badge are familiar to you, you could do a badge one a day, since it's just a matter of getting evaluated. Can I train on something that's not part of my badge or not part of any badge or pathway? Of course, training outside of work time is your training time. You can do anything you want to with that time. Basket weaving, lock picking, manga drawing, whatever you want. If you're asking about company time, then yeah, we want to have some guidelines about that. The short answer is possibly. Talk to your guildmaster about this. It's possible that your area of training is useful for other people. If, in that case, we would want to try to capture that knowledge or skill, set it in a badge, and make it immortalized. That way, you may be able to become a champion of the badge, which means that you could help develop the badge and also perform evaluations. Now, with this, we would provide you support. You wouldn't be in this alone. What about teammates who are training on badges and pathways outside of their guild pathway? Is their training work going to be recognized? The first answer is talk to your guildmaster about this. If you're training on things that are not already in your guild's pathways, a few things might happen. It might be that it might make sense to modify the guild's pathway to include the badges that you're working on so that other guild members can benefit. Your guildmaster may opt to give you credit towards your current pathway or future pathway by swapping badges out. That's another scenario. And the last one is that the guildmaster might opt not to include the badge in a pathway or give you credit, but the badge still may contribute to another pathway that you could follow if you wish. Whether the badges you earn contribute to a pathway or not, the badges themselves carry a certain value because they are proof of an accomplishment in your professional development. Thanks for your time. Remember, send any new questions to training@acklinavenue.com.